Hey there, Boots Owen here. I've got this old C11B2A-H GEC meter. It was a Northwest Electricity Board meter, which is round my way. One of the tabs down here is cut already. I found a number of these in a skip. I've given quite a few of them away. Came out of a block of flats that was being updated to smart meters, I imagine. So let's pull the other one of these off. This has, excuse me, it has an ID on it, PCS, is it? So you can't fudge it, you know, if you're M22, it says there. So if you haven't got the correct crimper, well then, when the meter reader comes out, he's going to know you've tampered with it. So I'm not suggesting you tamper with your own meter. This is a meter I'll use for measuring energy consumption or generation on a separate loop within the house. Or I might put it on my solar panels or something like that. Let's have a look down here first at the bottom. Come on, I'm using a screwdriver, it's probably slightly too big there. So down here you've typically got in on the left and out on the right. And I've put a bit of tape across it just in case somebody recognizes the meter number. There's no wiring diagram on it. I think it normally comes in live, neutral, neutral, live. And they're just a common shared block in here, but we might get into it and have a look. So I've taken off the tabs. Yeah, I'm not suggesting you do this to your own meter. That would be, I think it's a crime. I don't know if it's a civil crime or civilly illegal. I don't know about law. Full stop. Let's take this off and I'll have to adjust the tape again. So that there's no issue. Yeah, so it was property of Norweb, this one. So that's a glass cover held on with little stakes, little what are they, like grip clips or something you might call them, and sealed in. I don't think this is waterproof, but a lot of these meters get a lot of heavy work. What have we got? That looks like some kind of cast iron, maybe plastic. Let's see what we've got going on here. I don't know. It could be brass. Let's get the file on it. So I'll just put that little V on it there. It looks white, so it could be aluminium, but it feels very heavy for aluminium. Right, you've got some kind of a slider there with an adjustment on it. So 2 wires going to something there. What I'm interested in is resetting the dial. So I think I'm gonna have to take the front off. It seems to be held on with just one screw, potentially. Let's attempt that. Things like these tend to be quite sharp. Yeah, that's it. Okay, that's that dial off. Well, fascia or something like that is the word. Here's the numbers. So I would like to disengage drive somehow, which is coming from a worm gear in the back there. Worm driving this thing driving everything else. It looks like that's an adjuster there to take the end off. I don't know. It's tight enough that it doesn't want to hop. Let's try loosening this. This might be torture for somebody who deals with this. I know you can buy reconditioned meters online. So I've loosened that. Now I can see this all crumbling into pieces if I take it out here from this bearing, so putting my fingerprints all over it as well, of course. Okay, so I've taken this end off. This is when it all goes wrong. So I'm pulling out the spindle now. These guys are all dropping down. Let's get them back onto the spindle, maybe, in the order that they came off. And it should just be a matter of resetting them. I say as if I know what I'm doing. So they will all spin freely now. So all I have to do, surely, is put them back on, set to 0. These are all the same, I believe. Don't know though. Right, so let's put them here. Start at this end with 0 here. Don't know, because I have to catch these little fellows here as well, and I don't know which way I've done that. So that one will stay where it is. Looks like it's being driven off the middle. That doesn't make any sense, but now this is quite interesting. It has like lines and stuff. Lines and stuff, what does that even mean? I need a kind of like a tongs or something to grip here. I had a pliers knocking around earlier. If you're in the business of stealing electricity, it wouldn't make any sense to, it has, look at that, like a kind of a 9 thing, or a 1. It's kind of like a slider or a clutch or something. Not sure what that's about. Just have to get one more of these on, and then get that one back in. I can kind of guess that these aren't going to want to fit now somehow. Doesn't really make sense. Have I done it the wrong way around or something? Oh, that has an interesting little gear inside it as well. I don't want to take that apart. It can only rotate so far, so I don't really know what's going on there. Maybe I need to take this one back off. Get this one in. I've lost my, there it is, that's my line there. Oh, and I've noticed this fellow's coming off too. I wonder if I could just get that whole rack out like that for now. Put this one on here at the end on the basis that they're all the same, and try and get this thing back together. So there's a worm driving this sprocket in here. Let's lift it up. I hope it doesn't fall out. There's a worm silver at the back driving this sprocket here in the middle. That transfers along a shaft to the edge, and then it comes up to here, which drives the fraction wheel. I think this one here should be on the other side, like this. Now, what's the best way to do it? Because it has to come from this side. If I pull out the spindle, they're all going to collapse on me again. Oh, and now I've lost this fellow here. Oh, now it's all falling apart. Right, get this guy back on here. Okay, so that seems to be where I want to be. And that seems to go like this. And then this has to come apart a little bit of the way, like that. Right. Then the next one. I'm going to have to pull these up somehow. Try and keep the zeros up. Like that. I don't really want them falling in now, so let's start over here again. I've lost a number. No, back to 0. Had enough yet. Right, come on. 15 minutes I've been at this. So it looks like I need to start with the black one, and then one of these guys, white. I'm doing this standing up, and I believe if I was sitting down, I'd have a much better chance of getting a bit of comfort. So why is there a gap there now? Don't flip. Yes, the numbers aren't correctly aligned now. I've not got these. So this one is out. There's probably something where you just arrange this and then drop it down somehow. It's almost there, just have this 1 0 here, not quite aligned. Okay, looks good. I think it'll run. Something fell out, didn't it? This fellow here goes in here at the end. It's all dropped out by 1 number. That's not quite right, is it? I've done it all by the 9s. So it needs to hop off 1 at this end. Is that it? I don't know what I did. I loosened it and turned something a bit. Okay, so I need to tighten this up again. I think. Put a cover back on. I think it went that way up because all the dust is on the top there. 23 minutes later. I haven't put the nameplate back in. So I'll do that and show it to you in a minute with the code. Of course, with these things, it's only vanity really, because if you're reading a meter manually, you have to read the meter manually. So you still have to look at it and see what it was and what it's moving to, and then it's just a change. It's what you're interested in. Anyways, that's how I've reset it. It took 25 minutes almost exactly. Torture. So what I would do now with something like this, if I wanted to measure the consumption of an item like a radiator or something, is I'll put a plug on this end and I'll put a socket on this end. So basically get an extension cord and cut it in half and just put it together like that. So, questions or comments, leave them below. Thanks for watching. See you later.